Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 7-4.4. This particular lesson today, if you look at the green box at the top right here where I've got this orange circle going around, it says that I can name the parts of an expression using mathematical words. Words like sum, term, product, factor, quotient, and coefficient. So before we get started, I want to review some vocabulary words. First of all, the word term. The word term is the part of an expression between the plus and the minus. This is important. That has to be between a plus and a minus. So a term would look like 3a, okay? Coefficients, okay, are numbers multiplied by the variable. So after the arrow, you see a 3 and an a, okay? The coefficient is going to be 3, all right? So 3. Okay, the variable then, of course, is a letter, and you see that with the arrow. The one other thing that you need to know is this word operation. Okay, operations are add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And sometimes it gets a little hard when you have something like 3a. Okay, when you have 3a, sorry, looks like a U, the 3 is a coefficient, a is a variable, but there is an operation in here, and that operation is multiply. So just to remind you really quickly before we get going on today's lesson, there is one more vocabulary word that I want to point out today. Whoops. And that is this word factor. I'm going to pull it back in a minute, and I'll come back to it. A factor are values that are separated by the multiply sign. So anything, so 3 is a factor and a is a factor in this particular example. All right, that should sum up a lot of what you need to know. For your notes today, though, I want you to pay attention right here to the little gray box. It says identify the terms, describe the terms, identify the operations, and write the expression. All right, so let me throw something up here really quick. Let me go ahead and put up here 3a, and I'm going to put plus 2b. Okay? So if I'm going to identify the terms, the term here is a term, and here is a term. Okay? These two items are terms. Make sure that's clear. Okay? So then, so if I'm going to identify, now the term here, if I'm describing this term, this is 3 times a plus 2 times b. Okay? Then I'm going to identify the operations. Now, I have an operation right here, and right here, this operation is to multiply. And I also have another operation right here, which is add. So the two operations in this example are multiply and add. Okay, this gets tricky because we forget there's a multiply between the coefficient and the variable. All right, I want to make sure that we're getting this. Then, just make sure we're real clear here. 3 is the coefficient, okay, coefficient, and 2 is a coefficient. All right, and a and b would be the variables. All right, how are we doing so far? Okay, that's really, really, really important. I want to also point in, again, I want to talk about that factor. What if I have something like 2, sorry about that, get a pen up here for you, 2 times, let's say 4 times a, and it's in parentheses. Okay, this is really, really important. Okay, the factor in this case, the factors, okay, will be 2 and 4 times a. Are you following me so far? Okay, this is what you're going to have to remember. Very, very important. Okay, so if I can name the parts of an expression, this is what you will do. All right, boys and girls, thanks. Happy math.